oh my God, it's black, otherwise known as what to do when a home color goes too dark. Today we're going to be looking at options to help that client when they come into the salon and their home box color has gone darker than they expected. Now, it may or may not be black. It probably won't be black when you do your analysis of it, but I can assure you they're going to be feeling black. And when someone's hair is darker than what they're used to and darker than what they were expecting, they can feel really uncomfortable with that. Many of us have had that experience ourselves. And when we're not feeling comfortable, we're not feeling great about life. So let's look at some options as to how we can help them to feeling great again. So I've done my FaceTime consultation with Alison, my client, who has put that colour in her hair at home. And it's been really important to actually do a proper analysis for Alison when she's come into the salon to actually see exactly what's going on. Because, oh my God, it's black to Alison is not actually what I'm dealing with. So a dark colour on Alison, which is 3 levels darker than what she usually is. So she's usually a 660. When I've analysed her hair, I've actually measured and I've seen that the colour measures up to a 30. So the existing colour, which is roots to ends, is a 30. When I've done my analysis, there's obviously no grey. The texture of the hair is medium. The porosity is slightly porous, so I do need to be mindful of the porosity. The hair shape she's naturally wavy. She's previously got colour in her hair, even underneath the box colour, because she's been a colour client of the salon. The length of her hair is 31 centimetres or 12 inches if you're in the States. And what that tells me is that the ends of her hair are nearly 3 years old. So I need to actually factor in the porosity and the existing colour that's happened over the last 3 years of her hair. That's the analysis done. Then it comes to the consultation. Now the consultation, when I'm dealing with this type of scenario where it's a home box colour gone too dark, is very much a consultation that's quite one-sided. And I'm not just talking about in this scenario where Alison actually can't speak back to me, but in every scenario like this, because it's about what I can do and what I can achieve, what is achievable. And one thing that's really, really important is to not overpromise. Now, some of your clients might have been used to seeing the Kardashians that are dark one day and light, a few days later, not realizing that there's wigs involved or the process that's been gone through that's actually not real. But in real life, my goal is to keep Alison's hair on her head and give her the best possible option for getting her lighter and leaving her hair in the best condition and the best integrity possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you 4 different options that you could take. Now, Alison didn't mind that I split her hair into 4 sections, and I've actually done each of these 4 options on the different quadrants of her hair. So option 1 is an option that we would traditionally go for in this type of scenario, and there's nothing wrong with it, and that is to use some foils and do some foil work to lighten up that existing pigment that's in the hair. So I've chosen in the scenario of Alison in this front quadrant on the left hand side to do 2 sections where I've taken a diagonal across her part line, because I don't want to go directly down her part line to avoid giving her stripes. She's been through enough. She's been through COVID-19, she's homeschooling the kids. She doesn't need stripes in her hair. So the other thing I've done is I've done a pivot section point. So I've gone onto her hairline and then I've pivoted my sections around and then gone up to meet my diagonal across her part line. Next option, option 2. Option 2 could be that I do some face framing for Alison. Now, face framing might be a really good option where she just needs to feel lighter. She doesn't really care about the back of her head, and this could be a great option too if she has a situation where her budget is a little bit limited at the moment. Things might be a little bit tighter, so giving her some face framing could be a great thing to do just to make her feel like she's got some lightness around her face. Option 3 is another really great option, and that is 000 Lift Intensifier. The 000 Lift Intensifier is like having a magic wand in your back room, and it's going to give me the ability to lift and shift that existing pigment that we've got in the hair. That's our level 3 existing pigment. And then my number 4 option is my gentle artificial colour removal option. So that's my other option that I can do to lift out some of that existing pigment that's in the hair. Here's what I did in option 1. With option 1, I've mixed up 5 grams of Ultra Lift Bleach, Muck Ultra Lift Bleach, 5 grams of the clay, and 15 grams of 6% 20 volt. I've been really pedantic with my sections. I've taken very fine sections, fine weaves as well, again to avoid those stripes. I've used plenty of product per my packet of foil, and because I've got the clay in there, I can get really close to the roots. I've used small batches and I've mixed often. This is going to keep my product performing at its optimum. I'm checking every 15 minutes, and my timing was the full 55-minute processing time in that option 1 foil section. My pre-toning analysis determined that what I had lifted to from my 3.0 was an 8.3. So when I looked at the swatch and measured it up, I saw that I had an 8.3, which meant when it came to toning, I've chosen to tone with a 9.0, so 10 grams of 9.0 and 9 grams of 921 and 1 gram of violet. Now I've chosen to mix this in a controlled toning option, so I've chosen to mix it 1 part colour to 3 parts of my hybrid lotion, and I've also added in to my toner hybrid equalizer. The reason that I've done that is I've chosen coolness a level above my 8 level at a 9 level, because I don't want the coolness to drop down the lightness that I've achieved in that lightening process. I want to make sure that I'm toning at half a level at least higher than my 8 level. So I've gone to my 9 level, and doing it as a controlled toning option means that I'm going to keep the lightness and brightness while counteracting. Adding the hybrid equalizer in there is going to nourish the hair as well, because hybrid equalizer is a beautiful way to add that condition to the hair by adding the hybrid equalizer in to my controlled toning option. Option 2, where I've done my face framing option, and I'm just adding I've used the same mix with my Ultra Lift Bleach, my clay, and my 6% in a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio. Fine section, double weave to make sure I just get that really beautiful face frame and no stripes. And I've just taken 2 to 3 sections from the hairline. My timing was 55 minutes because I've wanted maximum lift. Pre-toning analysis 8.3, same again. But what I've decided to do in my face framing option was I actually decided that I didn't want the contrast to be quite so much between my the depth of the 3 and the lightness of the 8 level. I wanted to kind of drop it down because that personally, I think I prefer that type of result where it's a little bit more subtle and I haven't got quite so many levels between my lightness and the depth of the hair. So that could be a great option just for, again, making sure that I'm not going to give her something that's going to cause regrowth that she has to come back in a month's time to maintain. It's just going to be nice and a bit more subtle for her, just taking that into account as far as her budget requirements go. Option three is my 000 Lift Intensifier option. Now option 3, amazing option. What I'm doing here is I'm using 6.1, so 8 grams of 6.1, 2 grams of slate grey with 10 grams of 000 Lift Intensifier. So half of my formula is Lift Intensifier. Lift Intensifier gives me lift. There is no pigment, so it's just giving me lift. From a 3, my underlying pigment is going to be all about that red, and red-orange. So what I want to do is I want to counteract that with my 0.1, my ash, and I'm adding some additional counteracting ability in there with my slate grey. And I'm mixing that in a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio with 30 volt, 9% 30 volt. I'm doing a virgin head application, which means mids to ends first and then back to the roots. I'm timing that for 45 minutes and I'm not toning. I'm doing all of that in the one step. I'm lifting and I'm getting my counteracting as I'm lifting. So that's a really great option. And then I've got my number 4 option, which is where I can use my Ultra Lift Bleach, my Hybrid Intense Lotion and my Hybrid Converter to create my gentle artificial colour removing option. And I'm applying this away from the roots, I'm applying it to damp hair. All of these options I use my deep leave-in spray and to spritz the hair down and porosity equalise, but this is particularly relevant here. And I am on fine sections, just taking it through section by section, timing 15 minutes. I've got some shift and some lift. My pre-toning analysis matched up to a 735 swatch. So I've decided to tone with a 10 grams of 9.01, 10 grams of 8.01, and 20 grams of hybrid lotion and 20 grams of hybrid converter. And I've also added 10 grams of equalizer in here as well. So this is known as our post on scalp bleach toning option. And I think this is a fantastic option for toning as after I've done my dental colour removal option. And here's our end result. So as you can see, we have our part line, our foils across our part line in this section through here and up through our pivot section. Our next section is through this section here, which is just our face framing, where we can still see quite a bit of our colour that we started with, our 3O. So we've got a lot more depth through this section here, and we have got a less of a contrast. So we've got that little bit deeper tone that we've put through the hair, which is turned out really beautifully with our 832 and our 565 and our clear combination. It's just got less contrast through there. Then we have through our back section here our artificial colour removal section, which we've toned as well, just to tone it down. And I've made it really clear in my consultation with Alison at the beginning that there will be a degree of warmth in her hair. I haven't promised her that anything that's unachievable. So even though I've toned it, there is still a degree of warmth just because of the oxidizing that we've done. And then finally, I have my section through here. That is my Lift Intensifier section, which is measuring up to a 6.0 swatch, which is pretty remarkable, seeing as I've done that in one application with my 6.1, my Lift Intensifier and my Slate Grey in a 45-minute application. So you can do any of those options, or you could even do a combination of options. You could do an all-over global colour using Lift Intensifier with the addition of some face framing, depending on the situation that you've got and the client that you have. So that just gives you 4 different options as far as removing artificial colour from the hair and dealing with the problem, oh my God, it's black. So I just want to acknowledge that while some of us here in Australia in our salons do have the opportunity to actually tackle scenarios like box colour gone wrong, there are quite a number of salons, some of our muck salons across the world that don't have the option to actually be tackling anything because they're not in an opportunity where they can actually be open. So we may not all be in the same boat, but we're definitely all in the same storm. And I want to acknowledge you and just say to you that we're all in this together, and that here's some ideas and options if you're closed. You could go live, do a lockdown update for your clients, and why they should avoid colouring their hair at home. I saw Rock and Roller Hair Parlour from the UK do a great live to clients. And I just want to give a shout out and say what a great job you're doing over there. You could create a safety update for your salon, COVID certified and clean disinfect certifications that certain governments are offering, and that could be a really great thing to do for yourself and for the team. Communicate safety strategies to clients. A really great example of this is from Chase Meekin, from Chase Meekin74 on Instagram, who has communicated to his clients the safety precautions that will be in place, and it's really reassuring for clients. We will reopen, but differently. There are salons here in Australia who are doing this, and now that they're starting to reopen, and so this could be something you could start putting together. Evolve Hair Salon from Melbourne, here in Melbourne, in Malvern, put out a really beautiful message to the clients, letting them know that yes, we're going to be open, but it is going to be different, and here's what we're going to be doing to look after you. Another great thing you could do this week is listen to Clive Allwright on Anthony Whitaker's podcast, Grow My Salon Business. Anthony Whitaker's podcast, Grow My Salon Business, is definitely worth subscribing to. I can't recommend it more highly. It's one of the highlights of my week. And this week, Clive is on it, so I really suggest that you listen to that. And Clive's got some great ideas about what his salon's doing in the process of opening up. You can create a wait list for your clients. This gives them something to look forward to, a light at the end of the tunnel. This could be a shout out to clients, hey, we're creating a wait list, we're looking forward to getting back, who wants to be included on the wait list? Don't just wait for them to make an appointment with you. And also a great time to be sourcing requirements for opening. It might be that, when you look at what you're going to be doing and what your policies and procedures are for opening, it might be masks, sanitizer, disposable towels, different things that you're going to do for your salon that are going to mean it's going to be safe for you and your clients. So hope you're doing okay at home, and there's some ideas, just suggestions for you to help you with working towards your opening day. And one of the most important things about your colour correction service that you've completed, removing that artificial colour from the hair, is to make sure that you recommend the appropriate home care for your client. You can recommend the shampoo and conditioner within the Vivid range, and make sure that the client has this to take home. In Australia, you can also make use now of the affiliate program that we're running, which is a great way to support you with your home retail business, and offers you an affiliate code where you get a percentage of the sales as well. So it's about sharing the sale with you. So let's just make sure that we leave being black to those things that actually should be black. See you next week.